Good evening and welcome. I'm very excited tonight. Marty can't be here. That's not why I'm excited. I'm excited because my buddy Barb Piesel is going to be here with me. And Barb is somebody I've known for over 20 years. And in fact, probably 25 years. And she has been a pillar in the industry, in our business. She's been there for so many people, and she's made a big difference. So we're going to talk about her in just a second, but I just wanted to talk to you a little bit. What we're talking about is acting local but building global. I call it Glocal, and it works. So let's see if I can move my slides here and get my Barb slide up. And of course, I wouldn't be able to talk about Barb without talking about Bill, because Bill was a big part of course, her life and our lives and the business. And I know he loved Barb with all his heart. And she has a picture of him where he's waving goodbye on the day he left on his new journey. And so we just love him. And I've been so proud of Barb. She has been with us in this journey in the nutrition business for 20 years. And she came in, built a business to director, which is a business leader position right away, and senior director, and held that position for 20 years. That's not easy to do in any industry, especially through all the things we've been through. But when we lost Bill, I was concerned because the whole burden fell on Barb. And she took it like a champion. She still takes care of her family, her kids, her church. I had to put this picture in of her, all these gorgeous babies. You can tell us all about that, Barb. But with that, Barb, I wanted to have you here tonight because we are talking about building a global business, but starting it locally. And can you tell me what your favorite perk or your favorite benefit is since joining the Shackley family?
Well, it's my health. When we were considering joining Shackley, Roger said he wanted us to take a shake a day and a basic vitamin strip. And Bill said, I think you could do that. And I said, he said 2 people. And he said, oh, I don't think that's going to keep me from getting hungry. And I said, well, we got to try it. So he said, okay, he would try it. And he was amazed. He did not get hungry. And instead of sitting in the recliner chair, he was out working and doing things. His health improved, his energy. And the next perk, I guess you want me to tell, was when
share.
Yeah, when I won the Shackley trip.
Oh, yes.
We'd work for every year, but didn't always make it. And we had someone who was interested in building, so we were able to get him promoted, and we won the trip and went. It was down in the Caribbean. Everything was paid for. I mean, you could eat or drink or do what you wanted to do, and we got to meet so many of the Shackley leaders. And then we won the little trip to go, big trip to go. We had 4 choices, and we chose parasailing. And that was, I don't swim, so it really wasn't up my alley, but Bill was excited about it. And it was a thrill. It really was. So once you go on a Shackley trip, you don't want to miss anymore, even though I have, but I got to experience it. So I was so grateful. And then all the Shackley conventions, we went every year. And then after he's been gone, I have a friend, Janet, who has gone with me. Yep. So until, we had to go to the Zoom a couple of years ago. Yeah. But at the conference, and Marty and Cheryl, they have a special night for us. They give us all, she has these sparkly gifts, and they just treat us, they're just the best there are in the leadership. It's just wonderful.
Thank you so much, Barb. We appreciate you. We love you. And I like doing my Sparkle Awards. And anybody who likes something sparkly around their ears or their neck or their hands will love the Sparkle Awards. But thank you, Barb, for sharing with us tonight. You guys
Can I tell my Vivek story real quick?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to hear it.
Well, Bill's was alfalfa, and I have to tell you this. He had those surgeries and allergies. And once we heard about alfalfa, he started taking care of that. And that was the end of it. He carried it in his pocket, his little Shackley vitamin container. And every several hours or whenever he'd have it, he'd say, give me a glass of water or a drink of water, and take his alfalfa.
Mhm.
And I've got to tell you that when he was in the emergency room, just several minutes before he died, he was telling the nurse about Shackley and his alfalfa that he had in his pocket. He was telling him. And then my favorite is Vivix.
Mhm.
I found myself, I guess, one year over processing green beans. I have a big garden and my hands hurt. And I got so that I couldn't carry things. I couldn't depend on my hands that used to cry at night and just ask God to relieve me from my pain. And when we went to, I think it was New Orleans, to the convention that year, and Vivix was released. So we started taking it, as we always did. Whenever they introduced a new Shackley product, I was always taught, and even my former business, that you Shackley-ize your house. You can't sell something that you don't use yourself and that you don't believe in. So we just, do that. So started taking a Vivix. 6 weeks later, I was sitting in the chair that evening watching TV, which isn't too often for me. And I said, my hands don't hurt. And it was kind of like I started testing them and I could carry bowls again. And so for 16 years now, I'm back to gardening, canning, cooking, and I do all my own housework and almost going to be 784.
Wow.
So I'm grateful for Shackley. I'm grateful for all the people and our leaders, and I'm just grateful. Thank you.
You're very welcome, and we are grateful for you. Thank you for being such a blessing to us and so many others. Now let's go on to this next slide. And I had a similar experience, Barb, when we started on the products. I tried our pain cream, and one day I woke up and I thought something's wrong, and I didn't know what it was. And then I realized it was lack of pain. And I had been in pain for 20 years probably. And so it made a huge difference to me to be able to take these products and get healthier and stronger. And our mind products, which are on sale this month anyway, have made such a huge difference for so many people. And they let Marty and I be one of the first people to try them. And when we did, they called me and asked me what I thought. And I said, well, it was amazing. And I said, but I don't think we're going to see a real difference until, 3 to 5 years. And she said, why not? And I said, because the choices we make today will be better. And you don't see results for those immediately. Sometimes it takes 2 to 3, 4, 5 years to see results. And in that time, our lives have done a 180, health wise, financially, every way. So like you, we're really grateful that we have these products. And with Barb at the director level, we also have uh, Sean and Carmen Gray. We have probably 100 business leaders. And when Marty and I started our business, we didn't know if we could do this or not. And we started out in faith. We tried the products, we felt better, and we just kept moving. And Sean and Carmen are good friends of ours. We've known them for years. And you notice this picture here, they're in front of the Mona Lisa. When have you ever seen a picture of anybody at the Louvre in front of the Mona Lisa, not in a crowd of people? Marty and I have been there, but we were in a crowd of people. We're not presidential directors. Roger Barnett closed the Louvre and held a party there. And Sean and Carmen are at that party. So from the director position, which is a solid business move, to presidential directors, if you can see yourself somewhere in between, you might be a good fit for this business. And Sean and Carmen had so many pictures. I mean, all over the world. It was hard to pick Taj Mahal. And then I love this picture of their kids, Jade and London. And London is a business leader also. But now Shackley has made it so simple for us to build our business. We can do like Sean and Carmen started out with people they knew, just talking to their friends. One time, Sean was on a plane and he was sitting next to a lady named Nancy, and he told her what he did. He's in the wellness business, and they have some great organic nutrition and cleaners. And he got her card, she got his card, and Nancy happened to be from China. About a week or 2 weeks later, Nancy called Sean and she just said, this looks really interesting. I'd like to know more. And from that conversation has come a huge organization. I mean, over 100,000 people, in fact, double that. And because he had a conversation with a lady on an airplane, he stepped out in faith. And he also has a lot of other business leaders around here. A bunch of them are coming down to Florida for our advance in January. They're already booked, so we're very excited to see that happening. And then these wellness communities that Shackley has, you can build them on Facebook. You can have one in your home. You can have friends over. We have one on Facebook. It's called Small Steps to Holistic Health. Very generic. And we just give health tips. My daughter and I run it together. And now for October and November, they're showing us already what the focus will be. This month, it's mental wellness. And they couldn't have picked a better month for that, could they? I mean, we're a week into October and we're got over one mass hurricane. Now we've got another one coming. And Marty and I bought a duplex in Florida, 2 blocks from the water. We happen to be up on the North Shore, though. And so we're not in harm's way at all. But the horrendous things that have happened to other people, it's hard to just get through your day. You're praying for them and you're thinking about them. And I always used to say, worry or pray, don't do both. But it's hard not to feel bad and worry for these people because they're hurting so bad. And one thing Shackley has been is a solution by helping us have better health and be able to offer that to other people and stronger minds. And at a couple of slides down, we'll talk about something Shackley's doing that they're sending them. But these wellness communities are a system for growing your business. It's an online group. You can share the information with people, share products and solutions, like Barb talked about Bill. And for me, I took a lot of arthritis too. I mean, a lot of alfalfa too, because I have arthritis all over my body practically. But I have one finger that had been bent and crippled. And on the arthritis, I can function at a higher level because it's a blood cleaner and it helps my body do the best job it can to function through those things. But these groups help you build communities and have fun. And they're a version of what a lot of people have been doing for 60 years in this business. Shackley was present at the first Earth Day, and they've been around ever since. When I used to watch Jacques Cousteau when I was a little girl, I didn't know he had basic H on his boat. It's been to the moon and back. And there are a lot of people around the world who know better than I did and have been using these products for decades. And then you can do a health chat or an in-person meeting. And our Facebook groups, our wellness groups are like an ongoing health chat. And a lot of those people will message me with challenges and things. So that's a great way to share your wellness business. And again, this month, they have these special bundles for people to manage mood and stress. It's nutrition for our mind, our mood, and stress. We have something called stress relief. Took it maybe a couple of years ago, and I felt like my mom was praying for me. And then I realized mom's in heaven. So it was the stress relief. She's busy. And so those things have made such a big difference for us. Marty takes, I think, 2 stress relief and 4 B vitamins because they make each other work better. And we have gummies for the kids, cheer up, chill out, and adults too. But it's amazing how these products will help people feel calmer and have focus in times of high stress. And we are in a lot of that right now. So you can freeze this, look at it later. And even members can order this. They give us all these good deals. So we love that. Shackley has a philanthropic organization called Shackley Cares. And right now they are offering these special packs. We can go into our member center. Or if you're not a Shackley member, you can call the person who shared this video with you. And you can order 1, 2, or 3 of these. And they will ship them for you, free shipping. They're going to drive them to the parts of all these different states that are hurting so bad. Shackley has always been there when people needed them most. And it's hard to find an organization that you can trust. A lot of CEOs are making fat salaries, but we know all of the money we give for this goes 100% to the product and to the people who need it so bad. And giving people powerful nutrition during stressful times for these people could mean the difference between life and death. But it definitely means the difference between making a quality decision and making a decision that could come back and not be such a great decision later. Um, with Shackley, they've spent over 400 million on research and development, and it shows. They put their money where our mouth is. With that, I'm going to wrap it up with this next slide. Next week, we're talking about finishing strong. We're in our last quarter. We just started it. There are tons of prizes you can earn. I'm not going over them tonight. We'll talk about it next week. So I hope you can join us. We're here every Monday, and we'll talk about the different prizes, what you need to do to earn each prize, and how you can either earn the trip or start earning the trip for next year, because there's always a trip. And Barb mentioned how they treat you. And she's right. It was '08 that Shackley launched Vivix. In fact, on '08, '08, '08, Roger launched Vivix. Marty and I were brand new master coordinators, and they had a party for us at a car museum, of all places. And we were inside this beautiful, beautiful building that had all this fancy food and music, and everybody was dressed to the nines. And it started snowing outside. And we were in New Orleans, but they had a little trick they did to make it look like it was snowing. There were really teeny tiny bubbles, but talk about magic. You will be treated like royalty. And Marty and I have had some trips we've been on where we didn't know we had the top points, but I should have had a clue when the butler showed up at the door and they had fireworks out there. It was like one of those dating shows. But they will treat you with respect, with dignity, and they appreciate you. And you're going to feel better too. So join us next week. I know finishing strong is really important, no matter how weak we feel sometimes. And it's not how strong you start, but how strong you finish that matters. And I think it was in Philippians that Jesus said, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me. We're here to help you guys. Press on. Let's go do this. Let's see. Here we go.